Welcome back, everybody. Back in 2023, I put ride wait times to the test by tackling every single rider attraction here at Disney World. Jump ahead to 2025, and we've seen some major changes to the lineup, including a newly refurbished, remodeled, and updated Test Track 3.0 here at Epcot. So it's time to put ride wait times to the test once again in some good old-fashioned theme park science. Why don't you guys come along? Let's go make some memories together. Before we jump in, let's dive into what a single rider line is. This is a separate queue for an attraction that's intended for solo riders to fill empty and uneven spaces and spots in attractions. It's also a much quicker method to enjoying rides without committing to the advertised general wait time. Despite the name, anyone eligible for the attraction and any size party number can join and utilize the queue, meaning your party of 6 can take advantage as long as you're willing and able to be separated for the experience. Again, your role in a single rider queue is to fill those empty ride seats. You will not be sat with your party. Now here's how this is going to work. We're gonna take the posted wait time outside the attraction, assuming that it's correct, and start a timer once we enter the single rider queue. We'll then stop the timer once we reach the ride vehicle or the pre-show, whichever comes first, and Disney stops the timer, and then take that time we waited, pit it against the posted wait time outside, and see how much time we saved. Well, I think that's all the important legal disclaimers and things out of the way. Let's go hop into our first queue. Starting up here in Disney's Animal Kingdom, we're gonna be heading towards their only single rider attraction, and that is Expedition Everest Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, where we are going to board a train, climb through the Himalayas, and absolutely run into no Yetis whatsoever. It's gonna be a totally safe journey. We have literally nothing to worry about. Nothing. Just kidding, we're gonna go see a Yeti. This is my personal favorite single rider line in all of Walt Disney World because it belongs to one of my favorite attractions in all of Walt Disney World. And the reason why I love it is because it's very effective. Very seldom do I ever have to wait more than 5 minutes. So hopefully that holds up today. We're gonna go check the wait time, we're gonna start our timer, and we're gonna see how long we actually wait in line. Posted wait time is currently at 30 minutes, which is not bad for Expedition Everest. It actually went down since I first got here. But we're gonna go over to the single rider line, and it's not over here at the main entrance. I'll show you where. If you head this way, as if you're exiting the gift shop, we're gonna turn a little bit more left and go down this little alleyway to single rider line. We're starting our timer in 3, 2, 1. That Yeti may be fast, but boy are we faster. 23 minutes faster, to be exact, because I only waited 7 minutes, as opposed to the posted 30 outside. A little bit longer than I actually anticipated, because it was definitely a little backed up, because it's a pretty busy day here at Animal Kingdom, and it's a wonderful single rider line, and that's why it's my favorite. I guess the Yeti really doesn't move fast, because she's been stuck in B mode for, God, almost 20 years now at this point. Maybe she'll be fixed someday. I don't know. Maybe she's tired of being at the disco. Anyways, we're done here at Disney's Animal Kingdom, which means we have 3 other parks to go to. Let's go to the next one. Next up, Magic Kingdom. We're gonna go ahead and get this one done and out of the way. Now, technically, Magic Kingdom has no single rider attractions. And I bet you're wondering, Adrian, why are you even bothering with this park? Well, technically, inside of Space Mountain, deep in the queue, there's a separate single rider queue that lets you skip like the last 10% of the line. So to make this even playing field for all 4 parks so Magic Kingdom doesn't feel left out, we're going to include it because for me at times, it has been a pretty good time saver. Now, I don't know how I managed this, but right now in the middle of the afternoon in summer, Space Mountain is only at a 25-minute wait, which is a fantastic wait time as it is. I'm gonna do 2 separate timers while I'm in line. One, which is going to be the main queue up until I reach the single rider split off. I'm gonna pause that timer, then I'm gonna let that second timer run once I actually get onto the attraction, and that'll be my time saving, if that makes sense. This indoor roller coaster is gonna see us board a rocket and launch into the stratosphere at an eye-watering, pulse-pounding 27 miles an hour. So occasionally, and this doesn't pertain to today, while you're waiting here in this main switchback queue, they will call out for single riders, and you can go on 100%, raise your hand up and skip this entire room. But for the sake of science, unfortunately, I have to decline their offer and just keep walking. As totally expected, that did not take 25 minutes. I stopped the timer at about 12 minutes once I reached the junction where I split up into the single rider queue, which is so satisfying to take. Yes, I had to wade through 90% of that normal queue, which was mostly just the switchback room, but then walking past that entire line of people, basically to the very front of the attraction, is just so nice. It's so nice. But from that 12-minute mark, I finally boarded the attraction at 17 minutes. So I spent an additional 5 minutes waiting to board the attraction, meaning with those two times, I saved a total of 8 minutes against the 25 minutes that was posted at. So again, Magic Kingdom does not have a single rider line. But if you're on Space Mountain and you're a single party like myself, or you're willing to split off from family and friends, I think it's worth using. Moving on over here to Epcot, where we've seen the most changes in our single rider lineup. The most recent addition, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure over in the France Pavilion, and the newly refurbished Test Track 3.0 in World Discovery. If there's one way to do an attraction overhaul, this is it. Gone are the days of Test Track 2.0, or Tron Track as I lovingly called it. This is more reminiscent of Epcot of yesteryear and the attractions that came before, specifically World of Motion, which sat in this spot before Test Track was built. And frankly, I never really loved Test Track to begin with, but this version really makes me love this attraction. And because this attraction is so new, I have not got to use the single rider line, so this is a brand new experience for me as well. This attraction is going to give us a glimpse at how technology and innovation shapes the way we drive our cars now, and a potential way that they could in the future, as well as taking us on Disney World's fastest attraction at 65.1 miles an hour. All right, we have a posted 55-minute wait. Single rider line just over here. We are gonna start our timer in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, riders. I'll be your guide on today's journey.
And I'm your automated vehicle. Welcome to the test track.
We've always been dreaming about the road to tomorrow.
And now we've set a course for the future. Let me show you how I see the world.
By using advanced cameras and sensors, vehicles are constantly scanning the road ahead, helping to prepare us for any surprises.
Hang on!
Nicely done.
Surprises, huh? I was built for this. Smart Road activated.
Smart roads are just the beginning. Imagine being able to customize your vehicle at home.
What about this one?
Good choice. Now let's see how it looks.
Let's try another.
Now how about we kick back and enjoy the ride?
Sure, it's always fun to be free.
Watch out!
I told you, I got this. And together, we keep moving forward, finding new ways to drive to a brighter tomorrow.
Ready to see what else lies beyond the horizon?
All right, 19 minutes, which was a little less than half of the posted wait time of 55. A little bit longer than I anticipated it taking, but it was a nice break from the heat because we are still in the dead of summer and it is very, very hot out. What's nice about this most recent update is that they did get rid of the car design aspect feature from the previous version, meaning that the standard queue now moves a lot faster. So before you would have to do an entire 3-minute pre-show essentially where you got to design a car and you got to test your car on the track, and ultimately it didn't really matter because I never knew, well, at least what I was doing, and so I'm glad that they got rid of it to make the attraction a lot more efficient. A couple of Easter eggs that pay homage to World of Motion, which again was the attraction that came before it. I'm going to assume that the upward spiral that views into the main queue is a reference to the spiral that you saw as you entered World of Motion. Also, as you're entering that digital garage, if you turn to the right, you can see a 3D model of a ship and a serpent, which was a show scene from World of Motion. As well as when you're traveling through the forest scene, the AI computer goes, "It's fun to be free," which was the theme song to World of Motion. And not really a World of Motion Easter egg, but the address to the house that you pass through, the address is 10182, which was the opening day, October 1st, 1982, for Epcot. Random little rant here, but when this version of Test Track opened, I saw a lot of people complain that this feels like a giant commercial. Have y'all been on Test Track before? Any of the previous versions? Because this ride, like many rides, especially here at Epcot when they first opened, were sponsored. And this being sponsored by General Motors is going to talk about General Motors things. In fact, General Motors is the one that footed the bill for this refurb, which is why it probably ended up looking so good because Disney didn't have to pay for it themselves. I believe the first version was sponsored by General Motors. I believe World of Motion was sponsored by General Motors. The version before Test Track 2.0 was sponsored by Chevrolet, which I believe is also part of General Motors. I'm not a car guy, so you'll have to excuse me. But either way, it's always had a sponsor. They have always wanted you to pass through the gift shop, which in this case, what I'm standing in is just a big car showroom, to encourage you to go buy a General Motors vehicle. Because it's fun to be free on the highway in your General Motors vehicle. Anyways, sponsorships, Disney, that's the whole story for a whole nother day. A very fascinating story, but we have one more attraction to do here. Let's go do Remy's Ratatouille adventure. This attraction is gonna see us shrink down to the size of a rat, scurry around Gusteau's kitchen, slightly follow the events of the film. Then we get to see Remy, our little chef, open up his dream restaurant. Kind of like Test Track, I have also not used this attraction's single rider queue, so this will be a brand new experience for me. Current wait time is 45 minutes, which judging by the queue outside, sounds pretty accurate. Single rider queue is open. We're stepping in and starting our timer now. It's so funny because I believe this attraction was built with a single rider line in mind. But for years, we just didn't use it. I don't necessarily know why, but I'm very glad it's open because, look, I'm not stopping moving.
Il va aussi me falloir rapidement 4 ratatouilles pour la carte.
Oh no. Oh.
Hey, thanks for coming, everyone.
3 minutes. I waited a whopping 3 minutes as opposed to the 45, now 50-minute wait for that attraction, which, if that math doesn't speak for itself, I would say that's 100% worth it. I never realized how efficient that single rider queue was, and now that will be very heavily used by me going forward. Now, I did have a little bit of a different ride through today. There were some delays between scene transitions where we would watch the end of a scene and then we wouldn't really see all the effects and then we move on to the next one. So my advice to you, if that happens, especially if you waited 45, 50 minutes for this attraction and it doesn't go the way that it's supposed to do, ask for a reride. Doesn't hurt. The worst they could say is no, depending on the crowds for that day. But because you just did your wait for that long, you didn't get the full ride experience, I personally would ask for a reride. Anyways, we're done here at Epcot. Let's go to our final park. Disney's Hollywood Studios actually has 3 attractions with single rider queues, with the most recent being Star Wars Rise of Resistance over in Galaxy's Edge. But we're actually gonna kick things off by going down to Sunset Boulevard for Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, which actually has probably the worst single rider queue in all of Walt Disney World. This indoor roller coaster is going to have us jump into a super stretch limo and race down the streets of Los Angeles to make it to the Aerosmith show in time. However, Aerosmith is not destined to be in this attraction for too much longer. Starting next year, the Muppets will be moving from Muppet Vision 3D over to Rock and Roller Coaster as the new residents of this attraction. Being a Muppets fanboy, I'm actually incredibly excited to have the Muppets added to this attraction because not only do I just not really care for Rock and Roller Coaster in general, I think it feels really outdated with Aerosmith being the band situated in this attraction. It makes it feel very, very antiquated. Should we have closed Muppet Vision 3D? No, and I still fight for that. But I'm so glad to have Muppets somewhere in this park. Now, what makes this single rider line bad is that Disney themselves warn you that you could be waiting the exact amount of time, if not longer, by utilizing the queue. Basically, the way they have it set up is that you aren't split off into the single rider queue until after you wait through another queue. It's convoluted, it's confusing. I personally don't like it, but for the sake of science, we're doing it. We've got a posted 55-minute wait, which I'm praying it is much shorter than that. Single rider attractions over here to the right. We are gonna set our timer in 3, 2, 1, and start.
Hey!
What's a hey? How
What are
you
you
doing?
guys still doing here? You were supposed to be at a show.
I'm working.
Now, where is my limo? Good. Okay, come on, guys. Please, get in the car. Sorry, folks. We gotta go.
I hope we get some backstage passes.
Hey, Steven, I want some backstage passes.
Wait a minute. I love that idea.
Oh my gosh.
How about some backstage passes?
Oh, hi, Sal. It's me. Listen, I'm gonna need a bigger car. Make it a stretch. In fact, make it a super stretch.
Hello, Los Angeles. Joe St. James here, broadcasting live from the Aerosmith concert. Seems like everyone in town is heading to this show, so there's traffic everywhere you go. But don't worry, we have this concert covered.
Well, we made it to the concert safe and sound, and it only took 45 minutes. So was single rider really worth it to save that extra 5 minutes? Not really, no. The only thing I will say is that we didn't have to wait outside in the outdoor queue where everyone was baking in the sun. We had instant shade and fans. So I will take my wins where I can. Now, just a heads up that Disney does stop their times at the pre-show. So when I entered the room where Aerosmith was in the studio practicing, that's where that timer would stop. Meaning it took me 45 minutes to reach that point. Now, because I was in the single rider line, there's still an additional queue in the parking garage area that definitely took a very long time, but I did not calculate it because it was not part of the time challenge. Either way, I would say the whole experience probably took me over an hour. Very intrigued about the future of this attraction with Muppets taking over sometime next year. Maybe they'll change the single rider line. I don't know. Maybe they'll make it more effective to make it worth using. We'll see. But anyways, we have 2 more attractions left in this park, and they are, spoiler alert, both over in Galaxy's Edge. Let's go over to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run first. From likely the worst single rider line in all of Walt Disney World to one of the best, we are about to pilot the legendary ship, the Millennium Falcon. We are going to be joining the ranks of infamous space pirate Hondo Anaka in order to steal some very rare materials, some coaxium. The reason why this is one of the best single rider lines, almost every time I've used it, I have walked directly into the attraction. I have skipped whatever super large wait time there is. There's a caveat though. With this attraction, there are 3 different roles that you could potentially have: pilot, gunner, and engineer. With pilot being the most sought after because you get to drive the Falcon. Gunner means you get to fire the ship's guns. And engineer, which is the least popular, means you get to fix everyone else's mistakes. and basically keep everybody alive. With single rider, you are almost always going to be the engineer. You can maybe talk to the other families in your cockpit, see if they're willing to train with you, but for the most part, you are 100% going to get that role. I personally like that role. I like that it's very chaotic. I like that I have to fix everyone who is crashing into everything and basically, again, keep us alive, but most people don't like it. But if you're looking to get on the attraction within a very, very short time frame, I think this is the perfect way to do this attraction. Just keep yourself open-minded to what experience you may have. Also, in early 2026, just like Rock and Roller Coaster, we'll be seeing an update to this attraction in the form of new missions. We're finally getting a new place and things to do here. These new missions are going to star Mandalorian and Grogu. Why? Marketing. I don't know. They otherwise do not fit in. But we're gonna have new missions, new characters, new things to do, and it's very exciting to see an update for this attraction because you think it'd be like Star Tours where we're gonna have multiple different things to do, but it's not. It's been the same since day one. So hooray for changes. Let's go ride it. I will never get over the sense of scale to this thing. It is truly, truly awe-inspiring. Wait time at an eye-watering 85 minutes. That is insane. Single rider just here to the left of the attraction. We're gonna go in and hope for the best. Hopefully I get to walk right in. Now up here there is a fork in the road. You can either go forward, or I usually like to turn around and go up this way because people usually don't realize this one exists. And at the top of the stairs will be exactly where we need to be, which looks like we might be walking right onto the attraction.
Flight engineer, prepare test. Hit your flashing buttons. Weapons are online. Oh, watch it. Chewie. Great. Yes, keep shooting. Flight engineers, fire the harpoon. Excellent. Now, gunners, shoot the cargo free. Let's pilot brakes. Yes.
All right, let's get this hunk of junk back online.
Now power up the ship. Pilots, line up behind the train so we can harpoon that last car.
There we go.
Shoot the train. Yes. Keep flashing those controls. Keep shooting.
Oh, come on. Good job, guys.
Job, my friend. Distraction! Fire the missiles at the train! Let's fire it! Hit the boosters! Boost!
It never fails to make me laugh how intense that ride can be. Because it's all depending on how well your pilots do. If your pilots are constantly crashing into stuff, your entire cockpit's gonna feel it. And it is not subtle at all. But that being said, we did get both containers of coaxium, thanks to me being an expert engineer and being able to button mash the harpoon button very, very well. You're very welcome. Now this one's a little hard to calculate because when I join a crew from the single rider line, technically everybody who waited in the original standby has seen a pre-show, meaning their time has already stopped. That is one thing that you do miss when you are in the single rider line, is a cool pre-show with a very cool Hondo Anaka animatronic. So I'm gonna cut the timer when I got sorted into a team, which was 5 minutes. I waited 5 whole minutes from entering and then joining a team as opposed to the 85 posted. Again, I think this is one of the better single riders here at Walt Disney World, if not the best. And it's a great way to get this attraction done because clearly 85 minutes is very popular. Well, we're now headed to our final attraction as part of our single rider challenge that's still here in Galaxy's Edge, and that is Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. This is one of the newer single rider attractions that has been added since I last did my challenge, and I actually really enjoy it. I've got to use it a couple of times, and I think it's very effective. But with that being said, if this is your very first time doing this attraction, I highly recommend buying that Lightning Lane single pass, waiting the full standby, because you miss out on a lot of context with this attraction. You miss out on not 1, but 2 pre-shows. You miss out on the entire storyline. It literally throws you right in. So great for repeats, but not great for that very first time. So obviously, if this is your only time visiting and the wait time is either super duper high or the lightning lanes are sold out, do the single rider, do your homework on your phone to learn the lore. That way you at least get to say you did it, but don't miss out on the full experience, I promise you. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is the penultimate Star Wars attraction. It is more than just a ride. There is walkthrough sections, there is dark ride portions, there's simulators, there's a drop tower in it. We are going to get captured by the First Order, who are probably going to be very, very mean to us, but we are going to make our great escape back to Planet Batuu, hopefully all in one piece. Rise of the Resistance sitting at a crazy 110-minute wait. I'll show you guys where the single rider is, because technically it doesn't have its own queue. We are going to head past the main entrance, head past Lightning Lane, and then over here, got a sign pointing us in the right direction. We're going to keep going this way around this little cluster of strollers here, and down the exit, so we're going to feel like we're swimming upriver a little bit. We'll see another cast member here who signifies that we are single rider, and we are starting our timer now.
Enemies of the First Order, we will soon snuff out your meager resistance.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
Tell them it's a prisoner transfer.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, those are the prisoners. You're free to detachment block 3. Detachment to level D.
If anyone's packing a blaster, now's a good time. Wait, why are you going up? I said down. Up is bad. Up is real bad.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields.
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
Sound the alarm. All personnel to their stations.
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
All resistance personnel, abandon ship. I repeat, abandon ship.
You will tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will destroy you and the resistance.
Your escape routes came in a little off target.
It's odd to think that one would want to fast track their experience of being arrested, but I did that today. Now this is kind of a hard one to calculate, because when I leave the single rider queue to join the other queue with everybody else, technically I have skipped that first pre-show. So if we're doing it by that math, I have waited 1 minute. But I think what we're gonna do is I did kind of what I did with Space Mountain. I did 2 different stops. I did one from when I left the single rider queue, crossed over where everyone else was going to go do the prisoner transport, and where I walked down that very, very nicely unthemed hallway. So what I did, because that's not very realistic, is I did a second stop where I got to join a prisoner crew, which did take only 21 minutes. As opposed to 110, which was the wait time earlier. That is a huge chunk of time saved. Again, I don't think this is something you guys should be doing unless you have been on it multiple times or at least once before, like I have. But again, if this is your only time here, if you don't have the time to wait 2 hours, or if that Lightning Lane single pass is gone, skip it. Watch maybe the pre-shows on YouTube, or I have pre-shows of the experience on here when I've actually done the full attraction. Either way, do your homework, figure out what the plot is, and that way you can enjoy the actual physical ride portion of that attraction. Well guys, there you have it. That is a wrap on every single rider attraction here at Walt Disney World. Were these numbers surprising to you? Did you expect me to wait longer? Did you expect me to wait shorter? Did this change the way you're going to approach your Disney World vacation? Are you willing to split off from your loved ones to go experience said attraction in a much faster method? I love utilizing the single rider lines even when I am here with friends and family, because who doesn't want to get on attractions faster and move on with their day? There's only so much time in the day. There's a lot of things to do in these parks, and I think they are one of the strongest ways to do these attractions without having to pay for them. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys like our videos, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, the way you guys get updates on all of our future adventures, and let me know in the comments two things. One, what was your favorite attraction I did as part of this challenge? And two, what attraction here at Walt Disney World needs a single rider line? There are many, many popular attractions. Clearly, only so many have single rider lines. I personally think Tron Light Cycle Run should have a single rider line. That is a very short attraction with a very long wait all of the time. And if I can expedite my experience on there, then my Magic Kingdom day is even better. And as always, thanks for making memories with us. I've been Adrian. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.